Good morning. It is Sunday. I am going to birthday brunch. Me and one of the other hiking girls, our birthdays. Well, her birthday was last week. She's a Virgo. But I believe her husband's a Libra, daughter's a Libra. Anyway, it's kind of supposedly end of the summer get-together / birthday brunch. So yeah. Obviously blonde again. I did a video for Get Ready With Me on Friday for book club and the organization that I does the happy hours, summer, fall, whatever. Their brand launch or relaunch on Friday night. That video had some glitches in it, don't know why. So I just used the parts that I could use for other things. I'll repurpose it. So this video, again, going to brunch. So hopefully this one will work out. Did this late last night. It was a long night. So I'm gonna use Carpe again. I'm supposed to get there before 10. The person who's putting this together said before 10. So I guess there's no reservations. I literally live like the closest down the street. I'll probably get there like 9:59. So that's before 10. It's too much right there. Yeah, it was a rough night because like my downstairs neighbors, I don't know what it is about that apartment downstairs. It started making noise. I have a pimple right here, not from the eyeshadow, but a pimple right there. I guess this is having a birthday party or something per security. So they were rowdy, playing music like from 7:30, close to 7:30. I know the exact time, but I'm not gonna say the exact time. I woke up out of a dead sleep to laughter and yelling at like 6:30. So I was taking a nap. I'm trying not to get too close to my edges there. And then, yeah, loud music from 7:30 until about 12:30. Went up and down in volume because I did call security 3 times. One of the times I'm like, after the first time, I'm like, an hour later, I'm like, did you send somebody? He's like, yeah, somebody was there. And I'm like, it did go down for like maybe a second, but I'm thinking as soon as he left, they turned it back up. And so I was like, do you want contact? I'm like, yeah, I want contact. So he came. I was like, come in. He could feel the floor vibrating with music. He could hear how loud it is. I'm like, I don't know what y'all are hearing outside, but inside this is what I'm hearing. I'm like, you can't do nothing. I vacuumed. Since I couldn't really do much else, I couldn't watch TV in my living room. I vacuumed. I washed dishes, watching YouTube videos at the same time. Yeah, it's frustrating. And so he's like, okay, I'll go talk to him again. And I specifically told the security dispatcher, send somebody who speaks Spanish. This is a young black man. He doesn't know Spanish. He's like, I'll use a translator this time. I'm like, okay. I'm like, my last neighbors that were causing the ruckus spoke Spanish. These neighbors speak Spanish. Supposedly one of them may know some English. I'm like, how? I'm not saying everybody needs to speak English, but I'm like, is there lease in Spanish? I'm just like, it could be, because I know people do that, and I know we have Spanish speakers in the apartment complex office, which is totally fine, but I'm like, I can't communicate with them. Nobody else can communicate with them, and I'm like, understand, we can learn Spanish. I know some Spanish, but it's like, okay. But if you know the security's coming more than once, that means you're obviously doing something. But luckily, one of the apartment complex ladies in the office that I know, who's been here a while and has dealt with the last people, we're using Covergirl Essence. She actually, the security number's right here in my phone in front of me. I was like, oh, let me put that somewhere. But she was, I guess, locking up the apartment that they use for showings. And she's like, I heard it. So I'm like, okay, let me put my powder on. I almost forgot. I'm gonna put the tape on because all this will be out. I've moisturized and I have sunscreen like crazy because it is gonna be like 109 today. It was like 117 yesterday. It was registered. This is on backwards. No, it's not backwards. I registered as 117 yesterday. Luckily, it's not gonna be that hot, but I'm like, okay, my birthday's coming up. Does it have to be this hot for my birthday? So I'm like, luckily this brunch is at 10. So it's not too hot. Because I was like, I told him, I'm like, if we have brunch, if that's what you're gonna do, I'm like, it needs to be before. Last time it was like 1:30. I'm like, no, it needs to be before 1:30. So if I decide to go out to drag bingo tonight, I'm like, last time I didn't get home till like 4, 5, actually. This T-zone really needs to be. And so I'm like, if drag bingo's at 7, I'm like, I need a nap for sure. Anyway, so, and then I called, a few hours later, I called back and I'm like, send them back. And then I went to McDonald's about, I want to say 10:30. And I could hear it outside, so I'm like, okay. And I'll leave that open just in case, using this kind of brush. So I went to McDonald's, I'm like, okay. And, you know, the security guard was like, keep notes or whatever. And I'm like, I've been doing that since the last people who lived here. Believe me, I keep notes. Like, that is not a problem. But I'm like, why do I have to keep taking notes? It's like, just, it's like, is it for you, for the apartment complex? So, let's see. I don't know. I'm like, it's like, don't text. I'm like, that's the thing I hate when people just like, okay, we're going to the things. Like, everybody doesn't need to keep texting, like, within the hour that. Of the function. Because then, it's not just because I'm doing a video, but it's like, unless it's like 15 minutes before something like that, like, oh, I'm going to be late kind of thing. Because, like, I was late to book club because traffic. When I finished my makeup video past the time I was supposed to, but then had to get gas. Everybody was at the gas station. I'm like, why is everybody here? It's very frustrating. So I had one spot I was about to go into, somebody backed into it. I'm like, dude, I was turning around to go there. And so I went to a different one, different spot for gas. And something nice did happen there. I got out, I was wearing this black dress I got from Walmart. It's nice. And I did a reel, it's on my Instagram. And a guy was like, you know, excuse me if nobody's told you today, I like your look. That's what he said. I'm like, I'm guessing the word was look, because when there's a whole lot of noise, my hearing isn't the greatest. I heard everything but that last word, and I smiled and said thank you, because he was very polite about it. I was like, okay. Like, how often do you hear politeness when somebody's giving you a compliment? Sometimes, you know, catcalling and things like that. So yeah, he was very nice about it and didn't like try to harass me after that. So I appreciated that. That's a lot. Sephora collection, the new one. So that was nice on Friday. But yeah, so back to the apartment, whatever. I'm just gonna put it right there. But yeah, so when I came back from McDonald's, luckily my spot was still open. I'm like, okay, good, because everybody in mama was parked, was home. I'm gonna do the concealer first. No, I'm gonna do that first. Okay, this doesn't have. So I got a new sponge from Ipsy this month by Pinky S Beauty. So I'm going to. Oh, I was gonna do that as well. So let's do that first. So that's how much excess. Okay, now I'm gonna do the side and blend contour. And so when I came back, I'm like, you can hear this clearly from outside. And they were singing loudly, whatever. You can hear this from outside. So I'm just like, okay. I'm like, yeah, you can hear it. So I recorded because I'm like, this is what I'm hearing. So that I'm going to the office tomorrow and be like, this is what I was dealing with. It's one of those things like you can hear it inside, but it's like, okay, can people hear it outside if you're not living above them? And I asked this lady walking the dog because she was outside. I'm like, she could hear them as well. I'm like, you can hear them. I'm like, you live upstairs? She goes, yeah. I'm like, can you hear that from upstairs? She goes, inside, no. But I guess she had an issue with her neighbor who was making noise and she had called security. I'm like, yeah, I've called security a few times. So I'm like, this is... I was like, this is not my first rodeo. She's like, good luck. I'm like, thank you. Like I said, I don't talk to a lot of my neighbors, but I'm like, I needed to know, okay, if she could hear it upstairs, because that's a whole other thing, too. And I'm supposed to be going up. There's that. So, yeah. So after recording the video, I went inside, and then I was like, I just came to my bedroom. Like, I know there was text earlier in the week I didn't respond to whatsoever. I'm like, I saw it, but I'm not gonna like everything. I think there's so many people are into liking things. I'm like, I know that's maybe just showing that you saw it, but I'm like, I saw it. And something about the latest iPhone update is like now showing when somebody read my text. I'm like, I don't need to know when they read my text. I don't care. Eventually, if they respond, I don't respond. Because me, yeah, I don't need to know when they read my text. Sometimes I send text and I move on with my life. I'm like, I told you what you needed to know. And we're good. But yeah. So I just retreated to my bedroom. And ate my food. And then started bleaching my hair. And then cleaned the shower. Because I knew that, because I'd leave it in 45 minutes. So it was less coppery, because they were like, if it's not pale white or pale gold, whatever, leave it in longer. So this time I just set it for 45 minutes and cleaned the shower. Which, because yeah, because at 30 minutes I was looking, I'm like, yeah, it's still coppery. All that just for me this morning to shave it down to this level. It wasn't much higher than this, but I ended up shaving it down to this. And I don't know what about the box I got this time. They didn't have a lot of the, I don't want to say it was the light, no, the developer. cream like they did in the other last time I bought it. So I was like, I don't have to buy another one. Because this last time there's enough for when it starts to grow out, my brown starts to show. I didn't have to go back to the store. I just used what was left from before. I'm like, this case, if that happens, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to cut off the top. I need to buy more plastic gloves because I had some and I wasn't paying like $5, $5.99 at Target for freaking gloves. So I need to go to the dollar store or Walmart. So yeah, and then washed it out. I still had the purple shampoo from last time. Washed it. Still had the deep conditioner from when I bought it last time. It's one of them packets in the black hair care section. A deep conditioner. I want to say depotted it, but I took it out the package and just because it's not resealable, so I just put it in the bottle that I had from a previous beauty item. I think it was like oil or something. But I had cleaned that out and I had just been sitting it around waiting for a reuse of it, and that was perfect use. So it just sits in the shower when I needed deep condition. And then, so by the time I got out, I walked to the living room, I'm like, okay, it finally shut up. Because I had been watching, when I had quieted down earlier, I was finally able to watch TV in the living room, and I was watching the rest of Mr. McMahon wrestling, WWE, WWF, the hell ever it's called right now, about him or whatever, the founder. And it was very enlightening. I know there's all these allegations recently that came out, and it was most of the interviews were before that allegations come out, but there were other things that have happened throughout the years, so it's not like this is new. Okay, that's very blended out. And take the foundation brush. And basically what I got from him is like, he is not a nice person. He is not a nice person. He's all about business. That's all he cares about is business. It's like, I can understand, you know, business, like business over everything else. Like his family is a part of it, everything. Like business comes first, but he's done some shady things, and it's like, wow, bro, wow. And some of the storylines I didn't realize from the wrestling. It's like, in your family, you got your family to be okay with this, okay. Okay, so with this blended out, I'm gonna put I don't know why I did that. Going with the Huda Beauty. But I'm like, your family is okay with some of this. I mean, everybody in the family. So it's like, ooh, okay. As it kind of gotta be, I'm gonna use a different side. See, whenever I use the sponge, it does that. That's why I have to use my hands. Yeah, pretty much just absorbed everything. Yeah, his family's definitely supportive of the business because it's family business, basically. yeah, just listening to his side of stories and other things going on. And I guess in the comments, people on Facebook, whatever, were like, "This is nothing new." And it's like somebody was like, "For this is for people who don't know a lot about the wrestling world. This is new to them." And then somebody else was like, "Because legally, you can only say so much anyway." So I was like, okay, that made sense. Again, I had no problem because I know wrestling, 80s and 90s wrestling. So it kind of touched upon that. In some stories I have seen before, from watching A&E specials and Dark Side of the Ring on Vice. But yeah, if you're not a big wrestling follower, it was enlightening. It was definitely new stuff for you. So yeah, it's definitely, yeah, he's saying enlightening. And then I had started watching Jailbreak. I don't remember what the rest of it's called. I'll put in a thing. Also on Netflix about the guard that broke out, a guy, inmate that she fell in love with who was in there for murder. And so I'm like, I didn't know the story ended the way it did because I didn't pay that much attention to it in the news. I'm like, okay. I'm not saying, oh, it's just another jailbreak, but I think by that time they have happened before. So I was like, I obviously I didn't care enough to pay attention to a lot of details other than, where's this happening? Because, just in case they are in state kind of thing. Other than that, I didn't pay much attention to the story. So ending, I was like, oh, okay. So that was unexpected for me. So okay. We're not doing lashes today. Because it's gonna be hot. It's not like lashes make it hotter, but it's just a casual brunch. I could do the press-ons, but I'm trying to. Said I know that and then yeah, if we do have to wait, I'm like, we better wait inside, otherwise I don't know, we'll be sitting in my car. I just got gas yesterday because it's too hot. I know it's gonna be at least about 100 or 90 something by the time we got to brunch. So I'm going with this one too. That is the wrong brush. Okay, well that'll be interesting later. Let's see. I'll do a little bit orange too. Let's do a little bit of both. Looks like it's crazy quiet right now. I say that probably just to myself. My neighbors will be making noise, or it'll be obvious. I'm like, I don't know, maybe because they party too long. On Sundays, like everybody starts out late. Like yesterday, everybody and their mama was in Target. I'm like, it's hot as fuck outside. Why is everybody in Target? It's like, stay home. But no, everybody was out. yeah, it's like everybody, it was, this is the Danessa palette, but the Blooming Romance, but obviously I could have used that for my cheeks as well, but I didn't want to. I wanted to use Huda. All right, let's set rest of the face. I'm trying to go lighter on this because when I looked the other day, I was like, I look darker to me. And I don't want my powder to make me look darker. It's like on camera, it didn't look that dark, but later it did. So I don't know if, and I didn't use foundation, so I can't say it's the foundation oxidized, so. So that's enough. I think I put a lot on, so maybe that's what it was. You're supposed to keep your face still when you put after you put the setting spray on. I have no problem doing that, as you see. It's not like I'm going to start smiling as I'm doing it or what have you. This much came off. This is why. I'm sure if I'd set it, it would have been fine, but I just don't like my ears looking shiny. I know my ears were wet. That's why I was taking longer, because I'm like, my face feels wet, but it's not my face, it's my ears. And then with the fan on, yeah. I ran out of my one size. I have a little bit left, but I don't think it's going to come out for me to even bother trying to spray. And since it's not going to be as hot as it was Friday, Saturday, I'm not going to worry about it. And pretty much after brunch, the only thing I'm trying to do is go to, kind of think, I need food for tonight, for dinner, and lunch tomorrow. I might just get a breakfast bowl because I'm too tired to cook in the morning. You know, all my dishes are clean. I washed dishes yesterday. And then I'm just going to, like, what do I have to brush away stuff with? You see all that? Because usually I would use the brush I used for finishing powder, but I don't want to do that because that's maybe where the extra color is coming from. Okay, let's go. Let's finish under eye and then we'll do lips. Sound good. Color I'm using. I'm just gonna use the powder instead of the pomade. And we're using Lovesick. I've been using Desire to kind of blend out edges. Desire is pretty light. It's that one. Because this whole bottom row, well, pretty light, but I've been using Desire. Well, it's actually the top row, but in here it's like, okay, one that most of those colors I won't ever use. It's usually pretty much this whole row right there is what I use. Would I use that to soften? Okay, because I mostly use this one, obviously. I'm not about to use that one. Oh, I was gonna use that one. Just on my finger a little bit. See, that's already too much. I was just trying to do under eye right there. I have the weekend. Okay, I'm going to. Okay, let's swatch that. The Weeknd's, whatever his new song is stuck in my head. It's very catchy. I like this reel. So I did a reels like maybe 30 seconds of me in a dress kind of turning around, what have you. And people, the numbers going up. I'm like, I don't know why. Maybe because I tagged Walmart Fashion or Plus Size or something. It makes no sense. Why shouldn't reels take off more than others? I am going to soften that. And then okay, yeah, it's a little, that's fine. And then I'm going House Labs as a liner. I realized I didn't put on what I usually put on for my lips to prep. I did put on the Key Soul Care during my skincare. And then we're going with the Lip Bars Botanical Oil and Obsessed. So kind of a fall look that I'm going with, and to go with the colors in that dress, and I didn't want to it's daytime, so kind of the colors, and just be a little lighter to go with Blooming Romance palette and pinks, pretty much. I wanted to pinky today. So I'm gonna change and then put my earrings on. So why that cause that door to open. I'm gonna put mascara on because I realized last time I did not. Okay, let's put the earrings on, and then, like I said, I don't live that far. I'm gonna put the pearls on. I lost one pair of my hoops. My medium-sized ones. I need new ones. So, this is my Sunday birthday brunch look. So with that, everyone have a good day.